Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Summa Technologies Winter 16 release webinar. My name is Amanda O'Keefe. I'm the Customer Success Specialist and a Certified Salesforce Consultant with Summa. Just to start us out this morning, we want to talk about our Salesforce practice. We have a team of over 50 Salesforce certified consultants to help you. As a result of having those certified consultants, we are now a Silver Consulting Partner, an Impact Partner, and Salesforce Pardot and Data.com preferred partner. Today's presentation, we have lightning experience that will be presented by myself. Salesforce IQ will be presented by Steve Liphock, the Vice President of Salesforce Sales. A presentation on Pardot by Linda Johnson, a Senior Salesforce Consultant. And to finish up, we have a Data.com presentation by Kristen Keister, Salesforce Channel Partner and Manager. So let's get started. The lightning experience. Just to check in with everyone, we want to see what your readiness plan is. We have a couple options that I'll be presenting at the end of this presentation that Summa can help with, but we wanted to show you some of the most interesting things that we found at Dreamforce this year and share some of that news with you. All right, the lightning experience. So the lightning experience has 25 new features and 50 redesigned pages and a re-envisioned user interface. Not all of the pieces are actually supported within the lightning experience. Salesforce Classic, which is what you're used to currently, will support some of the pieces that are not available in Lightning Experience, and I'll have some of those pieces available for you at the end of this presentation. What I want to show you now is some of the pages, the redesigned pages that they're speaking of. So the home page now is an intelligent way to start your day fast. There's a couple options, pieces that you have here that have changed. The performance chart, it'll track your performance to target. This chart is editable and it will be replacing your current dashboard components that you're used to on your home page. What we have here on the right side of the screen is the assistant. You'll see the assistant includes overdue tasks, open tasks, opportunities that have any kind of date that are available. It will auto-populate this information within the assistant just to get you started with all of the things that may be important to start your day. The last piece on the home page is the account insights. The account insights is pulling from Yahoo to pull data about your top accounts that you have opportunities with. Just so you guys understand, this page is absolutely customizable, and we saw that some other people that have implemented this are able to use to add pieces and components like your recent items. So some of the customizations that you have will be included within your home page. The next important feature that has been updated in the Lightning experience are the list views. The list views, they include charts now. So you can see on the right-hand side of the screen here that it's very much like a report now where you can actually pull data within data that's contained within your object on your record. The second piece are the filters that you can include. So within that, you can actually take a list view and pull different filter criteria. So you won't have to, before when you had to build all of your list views, now you'll be able to apply filters to one particular list view to get the data that you need. There's also the type ahead search. So when you begin to put the data within, the type ahead search will easily populate any of the information that's within your list view. This chart here is editable. You don't have to just use bar charts. Different graph charts are included in that as well. The next piece is the dashboards. You'll see that the dashboards have grown up a little. They're now able to span a column. Before, you had to change the type of report that you were creating just to be able to fit it within your dashboard page. Now you're able to span a column to provide more information in that report. The colors have grown up a little too, so it's not just primary colors. They've given you a variety of colors that can really make it look better for executive views. Again, they've applied the easy filter. You can add filters with simple visual interfaces. So you'll be able to update that report right from the dashboard page. Now on the opportunity object, you have the board. The board is a powerful way to visualize and work your pipeline. It's very much like a Kanban board if you're used to working with that type of material. So this, you can visualize your pipeline. You can see the opportunities here that are organized by stage. So I can actually see everything that's in the qualification stage, and I can also use this alert here where I have a little alert that tells me there's something that needs to be done with that. It's telling me that the closing date is happening soon, that I need to update that particular deal. You can also add filters to this. In this piece, they have added a closed lost filter, so I don't have to see that within my opportunity. The most interesting part of this is that when you want to update a stage, you're able to pick up your card and just drop it into the next stage within the board. The pages have changed slightly too. The opportunity and leads workspaces have now been updated so that we can see a couple new pieces. So we have the sales path. It's a customizable guidance to support your sales process. So now I can see where exactly I am within the sales path. The composer has been updated as well. At the top of the page, you're able to update your tasks, your log a call, your events, and your emails right from a quick create area at the top of the page. You'll also see a change here. We see next steps and past activities. It's very much like what you have now on Salesforce Classic. It's been updated to access pieces easier. I think of next steps as open activities and past activities as closed. You also can see that they have updated some of the page layout to add things that would be accessed easily, your related list, onto the right-hand side of the page. So we have our contacts, some notes, and our products right here on the page. Notes has been redesigned. A lot of people in the past have wanted to use the notes feature, but now there are a lot of updates to this. There's an auto save feature, so I don't know if you've ever had the issue of writing a note and when you clicked your back button, it took you right out of that browser and removed that note and you didn't have it saved. Now it auto saves, and I saw a demo on it and there was a constant state of saving, so you don't ever lose any of your information. It also includes rich text, so you can add bullets, numbers lists, or text formatting right there just like you would a Word document. You can also relate it to multiple records. So now you can relate it to a contact, you can relate it to an opportunity or an account right from the notes page. That way it will be populated on those pages very much like a related list. So finally, what is supported with the Winter 16 release? The only thing we're going to talk about here is the objects. So here's a list of the objects that are supported. There are a lot of things that are not supported in this particular release that may be supported in Spring 16. There's also other pieces that would have to do with different customizations that you've done to your org that you may want to check into. What we suggest is that you build a launch plan. If you're not ready to migrate all your users to Lightning Experience, you can use both Lightning Experience and Salesforce Classic together. These 4 steps are kind of like a quick start with questions to ask yourself before you decide to switch to the Lightning Experience. So we will want you to understand that some of your customizations will be affected, including custom buttons and reports. These are things that Summa can help you with. Also, a system administrator can easily enable the Lightning Experience at org level, but we ask that you think about that before you do it and not give that access to everyone. Third, you turn the Lightning Experience on for individual users. So you can use profiles and permission sets to set up particular users to use it and give, a beta group of users. And also, users decide when they want Lightning Experience and Salesforce Classic. These users do have the ability to jump back and forth between the 2 experiences. Finally, Summa is not going to leave you hanging. We'll help you with 2 packages that we're offering. We have a Lightning Experience and Education Enablement package that's a 1-day package for $2,000 that it's really for customers who need a deep understanding of Lightning Experience, what it is, what it isn't. that we want to help you create a roadmap. We want to help you examine your org and understand who would be pilot users, and also understand the change management approach that drives adoption. And finally, we have a 5-day experience where we would come in and help you enable that package. It includes testing and deployment, admin and user training, and it's the whole transformation of your org. If you have any questions about the Lightning experience, at the end of this presentation, we'll be answering those. You can also feel free to email me, and I'll be happy to answer those for you. For now, we're going to jump in to the Salesforce IQ with Steve Lippock.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to talk about my favorite new feature coming out of Dreamforce, and I installed it almost immediately coming out of the event and using it quite thoroughly today. So about a year ago, you might remember that Salesforce acquired a company called Relate IQ in January of last year. And really what that brought to the table is what Salesforce calls relationship intelligence, and we're going to show you a little bit more about that. But what Salesforce IQ is going to enable you to do is to respond more intelligently, and even there's some level of intelligence to actually have Salesforce IQ recommend to you when it's appropriate to respond to emails and other messages. So we actually have a blog up on the Summa site about Salesforce IQ for more information, and I have that listed here as well. So I'm going to go through what I call kind of like the top 10 points of Salesforce IQ. First of all, and most easily and I'm going to use primarily a Gmail example, and I'll go over the different platforms that this is available for at the end of these slides. But on the right sidebar of your email, there will be access to information coming out of the Salesforce org. So while you're looking at the email, you have access to view related information, as you see at the top right here. So contacts, opportunities, additional account information, and that sort of thing. You can also, if you look at the bottom right, quickly create additional records from your email inbox and create them back into your Salesforce org. Now, the example shown here is an opportunity, but what's really exciting to me really is contact creation. I'll give you a quick use case example. When we start a project, I might send an email to a client saying we're going to conduct a kickoff meeting, and I get an email back copying about 10 different people on the attendees on the client side who will attend the initial kickoff meeting for a Salesforce implementation or enhancement project. I get really excited when I see everybody participating, but then I think to myself as a salesperson, I have to enter all of those contacts now. With Salesforce IQ, I can actually click a couple of buttons, and Salesforce IQ will read those email addresses and add those contacts to my Salesforce org and relate them to that account automatically. Huge time saver and very, very convenient. In terms of responding with intelligence, one aspect of responding to it with intelligently is knowing when to respond. So the way Salesforce IQ helps you with that is you can add a read receipt to your emails, and you'll be notified when your email is opened. And you can also schedule the timing of the delivery of your email responses. So for example, if I'm working at 11 o'clock at night and I want this email to arrive at the top of my partner or client's inbox when they first, shortly after they start work in the morning, I can schedule that email to arrive after 6 hours or just for tomorrow or after a day, but I have certain options there, or I can schedule for a specific time. So very, very convenient in intelligently responding in a timely way. We can also respond very quickly with some shortcuts. Salesforce IQ gives you the ability to craft some content not for an auto response, but something that you can quickly capture and build into an email, so you don't have to retype things that you might be typing redundantly over and over again. Now, the next thing is something that is really, really cool, and it has to do with scheduling meetings. So with Salesforce IQ, you can actually insert your availability integrated with your Outlook or Google Calendar. And what you see here, by the way, is with all of these options, when you open up a blank email, there's a left-hand sidebar with icons, and you'll see that each of those icons represents something different in terms of scheduling delivery and so on. So when we open it up and we want to actually click on one of those left-hand icons to insert our availability, I'm going to flip the slide, it pops up your calendar. And you can simply click on in your calendar some meeting times that you might be available, and edit also the email header and the description of that event. Once you click insert availability on the bottom left, then it populates into the body of your email as you see at the bottom right-hand side of your screen. And when you send that email, people can select what meetings that they're available to attend, or select a meeting that works best for them. So, and once that meeting is finalized, it'll log the meeting into your Salesforce org and into your calendar. So I find that extremely helpful as well. And another one of my favorite features about Salesforce IQ. Lastly, we can set reminders to follow up on either events or emails. And very similar to scheduling the delivery of an email, you can schedule a task or a reminder to follow up on an email if you don't receive a response or something to that effect. And lastly, I mentioned on the very first slide that Salesforce IQ is intelligent enough actually to recommend to you when it might be appropriate to respond. So you see here on the bottom right, Salesforce IQ is saying to me that I should respond to this question. It was smart enough to know that there's a question in the body of an email that I didn't respond to, and it's suggesting that perhaps I should create a task to remind myself to check on availability and respond to that question. So very convenient also, and on the right-hand side of my Salesforce IQ interface, I have a list of suggested tasks that I can either accept or reject. Lastly, how to get the applications today. For Gmail, it's available as an extension to your Chrome browser. And for all of the applications, the solutions are available as apps available to download. So we have more details about those requirements, but you see here on the grid what's available for Gmail, what's available for Exchange and Office 365. Again, mobile availability for all of them, desktop availability as a Chrome extension for Gmail and Google Calendar. That's it for me, and I'll transition back to Amanda to start with our Pardot segment.
Okay, we now have Pardot being presented by Linda Johnson. Everyone needs a marketing automation solution, so meet Pardot and learn what's new.
Hello, my name is Linda Johnson. I'm going to be talking this afternoon or this morning about Pardot. So what is marketing automation? According to Wikipedia, marketing automation refers to software platforms and technologies designed for marketing departments and organizations to more effectively market on multiple channels online, such as email, social media, websites, and automate repetitive tasks. Okay, so that's what Wikipedia says. Let's talk a little bit more about just what that means. And so what is Pardot? Pardot was actually acquired by Salesforce in 2013 when they purchased ExactTarget. Pardot is a marketing automation tool, and what that does is it can help you generate high-quality leads, create custom targeted emails. It can help accelerate your sales pipeline. You can calculate your marketing ROI. It empowers sales to connect faster from anywhere through Salesforce Engage and the use of Pardot. It is focused on B2B marketing, and it really is a collaboration between your sales and marketing teams. So it's building that relationship between those two areas to make things tighter and help sales follow up on the best qualified leads and prospects you have in your system. So that's a little bit about what Pardot is. What are some of the things you need to know about Winter 16? So there are some additional enhancements during Winter 16. And another thing with Pardot, even though they follow Salesforce's release schedule, they do intermittent releases off schedule also. So they're always adding additional functionality and capability. And they're also working towards a much tighter integration with Salesforce. So the first thing is the improved bidirectional sync. Previously, you had to choose one. You either synced from Pardot to Salesforce or Salesforce to Pardot. But now you can also choose most recently updated. So if your Pardot record gets updated, is the most recent update, it's going to update in Salesforce. If Salesforce is the most recent update as far as your contact and prospect information, then it will update in Pardot. There's also the ability to delete and merge prospects so that you keep your database clean and you don't have multiple records for the same contact or lead. Ad tracking template. So the ad tracking template, as everyone knows, Google ruled out some changes to AdWords in July 2015. Pardot has a Google AdWords connector so that it helps make sure that your ads are properly tracked. So what they did is they updated the Google ad tracking template to more align with the new Google guidelines. Variable tags. So really what variable tags allow you to do is it really lets your salespeople customize Salesforce Engage campaign emails so that they can personalize messages to target prospects. So they are able, sales reps are able to insert both standard and custom Pardot tags. Just a note, some of these changes, Amanda talked earlier about lightning. Some of these changes are available in Salesforce Classic only. So if you do decide to move to lightning, you will have to flip over to Classic to use some of this new functionality. Email editor and Engage email. Email editor really allows you to create very high quality marketing emails. You can maximize, and really what it does is it takes that email editor screen and allows you to go full screen. It gives you more real estate that you can work with. You're easily able to resize the sidebar. So you can control more of what you're seeing and doing. Engage emails, this is the ability to log emails separately in Salesforce. You'll be able to log these emails separately from Pardot marketing emails. Those two functions again are available in Classic only, and although I say that now, and by the next release they may be available in Lightning. One of the nicest things about the new release is the sync times are faster. Previously, you had to wait for changes, and it was a 10-minute window. So if something happened, you really didn't know fast. And in today's world, everybody wants things now or as close to now as they can get. So right now, Pardot is syncing with Salesforce, so the changes are updated every 2 minutes, which is a huge improvement over the previous 10 minutes. So I want to talk about some resources, some great resources out there. There's a Pardot blog, a ton of information on the 5th. There was your essential website launch checklist. So great time to take a look at your existing website, do a relaunch of what your website looks like. Everybody today, and I know personally I do, I check on the web for everything. So I'm going to customers' websites or businesses that I'm interested in. So Pardot has a blog. It's www.pardot.com/blog. A ton of information that you'll be able to find. Take a look at it, and it really does give you, especially with this latest blog, information about relaunching your website and some things to think about. Last but not least, Summa offers a quick start package, and it's $4,000, and it really is designed to get your team up and running very quickly with Pardot. There's a list of activities and deliverables that you can see on the screen. We also, so there's the project kickoff, customized implementation plan, Salesforce integration. So we install the Pardot connector and then configure Salesforce. Then we also do the implement the website tracking code to log visitor activity. We support the setup for an initial campaign, landing page, web form, email template, and drip campaign. And then we have on-site or remote training for 90 minutes. It's a great package, get you up and running on Pardot. And so, again, I mentioned that Pardot was a B2B. So Pardot focuses on a business-to-business scenario. If you're looking at business or B2C, business to consumer, then that's really where ExactTarget is aligned. Okay, thank you, and I'm going to turn it back to Amanda.
Thanks, Linda. All right, up next we have a data.com presentation. So even more data to know your customers.
Good afternoon. I'm Kristen Keister, the Salesforce Channel Partner Manager here at Summa. I work closely with the Salesforce Data.com team and also with our customers on working towards their database health. All of the features that Amanda and Steve and Linda have shown you today as part of Winter 16 are amazing. But no matter the features and functionality we implement in our Salesforce orgs, if the database isn't healthy, then our user adoption struggles and ultimately our customer engagement suffers. A healthy database is more than just having clean data. I want you to think of your database as really two different parts of health. First, we want our existing records, of course, to be accurate and complete, but we also need the database as a whole to be complete and to be a predictive tool for us. For example, if you think about your customer and start it early in the pre-sales process, your sales team or your marketing team might be building contact records around who they marketed to, who was the decision maker in a sale, who might have ultimately signed a statement of work or a purchase order. But as you move through the customer life cycle, are accounting contacts being added so that your accounting team can work with the correct billing contact at the customer? And ultimately, are the users being added so that when you do ongoing communications about product updates or cross-sell marketing messages, have the right contacts there been added? So we want to make sure that the records that are in there are accurate and complete, but we also want to step back and say, do we have the right data at all to represent a picture of our customers or our prospects? So data.com has grown significantly and continues to with Winter 16 to provide both that basic data hygiene functionality as well as the ability to grow your database into a more useful asset. Let's just do a little bit of a refresher on the two different types of data.com licensing that exists. There's data.com clean, and then there's also prospector. Clean will give you the base functionality of cleaning your records and ensuring that they're accurate. Prospector is what starts to turn it into a bigger and better database and more of a tool. So let's start with clean new features, and we'll do a little bit of a revisit as well on data.com and its functionality. Clean has always been available at the lead, the contact, and the account objects. You'll see up here at the top in the screenshot of a lead, there's a clean button that's been added to the page layout. Inside of an account or a contact, it would look much the same and be presentable as a custom button up here at the top. When you use clean, there's two different ways to use it, and both ways what it'll do is it will identify the record, match it to D&B, Dun & Bradstreet data, and then it will either append data to the record that might be missing, like if it didn't have phone number, it may append it here, or it might update existing data. So it might look and say your annual revenue is out of date and has a new number because the company has grown, and it might update that field for you. Clean can be done manually by invoking this clean button. It can also be done by jobs. So if you do a clean job, you can set it to run nightly or weekly and have it automatically do the clean for you rather than needing to go account by account or contact by contact and hit clean. Okay. A lot of people are nervous with turning on clean jobs and feel like it would overwrite fields or data that they'd prefer to be the master. And when you configure data.com, you have field by field configuration choices. So even if I run a job nightly, what I could do is tell it, if my seller has already put a phone number here, I don't want you to overwrite that because I'd assume that my seller has a correct phone number or maybe a more accurate phone number than data.com does. But if it's something like employee count, I would like data.com to overwrite it and continue to update and refresh my database with that type of firmographic data. So you have field by field control within leads, accounts, and contacts when you schedule and configure your clean jobs. All right, up until now, what would happen in the lead record, though, if you think about a lead, it's both company information and contact information. So it's kind of like a business card where it has Lynn Engineering, but then it also has a little bit of personal information like the contact name and the email address. In the past, if you were to hit clean on a lead record, if it couldn't find the person, then it would come back and say, I'm sorry, I can't find the entire lead record, and it would not do an update. Now in Winter 16, what they've done is it's called Enrich Leads with Company Information, or you might actually see that abbreviated as ELCI. What this will do is take the domain name, so Lynn Engineering, and if it is able to find the company, it will populate the company fields and just leave the contact ones unrefreshed or unupdated. So you're going to get twice as high of a hit rate now because it will actually update the company information for you instead of just ignoring the entire lead record. So this is a pretty significant enrichment, I believe, with Winter 16, and I think you're going to have a lot more clean leads just to be able to at least update the company information. All right, now kind of thinking about it as a predictive tool, the other updates in Winter 16 are all around the prospector. And we'll do the same thing, we'll just kind of refresh of what prospector is before we look at the new features. So prospector is a tool that allows you to either look at sales insights around accounts that you have, whether they're prospects or customers, and it also allows you to build your database by going out and downloading accounts or downloading contacts and bringing them back into your database to continue to grow it. So the first Winter 16 enhancement is Prospector Insights now have much more detail around them. So up here at the top, you can tell we're inside of UPMC, or University of Pittsburgh Medical Center's account record. What I did from that account record was hit a button much like clean that took me to prospecting insights and brings up a second screen. Now the data that's available, and especially how many accounts that this is available for, has been increased in Winter 16. And I don't have the exact number showing on the screen, but when I say increased, we're talking from a couple thousand records that had this to up near 1 million records that now have this. So when they first released the Prospector Insights in the last Salesforce release, it was almost like a beta, and now they've full-fledged turned this thing on for the entire database. Okay, so you can take a look. It lets you see what their growth is, what their delinquency risk is. So it's not just static information of revenue and employees, but also what their growth rates are. The second feature enhancement then is the persistence or the searchability of this data. So before I could just come into UPMC and see their growth is 12%, but now I can actually use that to help me build my marketing campaigns. So I could say I'm concentrating only on companies that are in extremely high growth right now. When I do my marketing campaign searches or I want to download new accounts, I only want ones where maybe the growth is over 20%. That's now a field that I can search and apply criteria to help me build my campaigns. Okay, so that's the Prospector Insights and the new features and the new much more data that's available. The second new feature for Prospector is called the company hierarchy. As a refresher to remember how normal parent and child accounts work within Salesforce, you've always been able to go into an account and associate it to a parent account. So you were always able to manually build the parent-child hierarchy and show subsidiaries within an account. The data.com hierarchy is different in that it is automatic, and it also does not require for the accounts to actually be inside your Salesforce already. So I can come in here, and you can tell by the green dots that I already have the Hilton inside of mine. I already have the Waldorf Astoria inside of mine, and the green dots let me know that. What this would let me do is say, oh, I didn't realize Embassy Suites was part of that. I have a solution that I applied to these two. I'd like to go target for Embassy Suites. And what you can do here, it's showing on a different account, just by hovering over it, you have add account, and it will let you download it and then associate it automatically for you to the Hilton and let you start understanding where that cross-sell and upsell opportunities are within the subsidiaries or lines of business in a company. So that's a new feature, lets you see the hierarchy as well as auto-download and populate that hierarchy automatically. That's a great sales planning tool for your sales teams if they have to do quarterly account plans. Finally, another predictive tool, and this is with Prospector, is recommended accounts. The screen that you're looking at here is the data.com screen that I would go in, and if I wanted to go in and download contacts or download accounts and add them to my database. So I can search, show me all nonprofits within the Baltimore, Greater DC area by zip code or by area code, and then I can refine those if I were to get thousands and thousands of results by employees, by revenue, by type. Down here, this is my refinement criteria. That's normal data.com prospecting functionality. The new piece of this is now up here at the top, the recommended accounts. Provided that you have at least 5 closed-won opportunities within the past 3 years, data.com will take an algorithm and look at any trends in this, like maybe all of yours were in a certain industry or all of yours were in a certain city with a certain revenue size, and it will recommend accounts for you. It will show those down here at the bottom, and same as normal Prospector, you're able to select all of them or choose which ones you want, and straight from the screen, add them to Salesforce. Then from there, you can use the Get Contacts button inside of each of those accounts and choose the contacts that you'd like to build within your accounts. So now you have the Prospector enhanced, you can build your company hierarchy out, and if you're not even sure where to start in your sales planning, it will do recommended accounts for you. Okay. I feel like now more than ever, data.com is just an enterprise level tool to help marketing, to help sales, to help all of your customer service teams make sure that they have the right contacts and are dealing with the right people at your customers to improve that customer engagement as much as possible. We do have an offering if you are using data.com or have not started yet, either way, to come in and help you get up and running, ensure it's be configured correctly, and understand kind of how to tackle using data.com if you already have existing data in your database, which is always a little bit more of a challenge. We can walk you through the data.com reports and dashboards, how to identify duplicates and put together a plan to get yourself to a place where you're comfortable with the database health and improve that adoption. All of the information about our data.com offerings are on the summa-tech.com website. And if you have any questions, please let me or Amanda or any of the team that you spoke with today know, and we'll be happy to help you out. Thank you.
Thank you, Kristen. Yeah. Okay, so a couple questions. If anyone has any questions they'd like to submit, just use the GoToWebinar side panel to submit those questions. If we don't get to them, that's okay. We will be sending out a Q&A after with a master list of your questions to show any questions that were asked. In the meantime, we have 3 questions. One was about Pardot, and Linda, if you are still available, you can answer that question again. She did try to wrap up with the answer, but the question was actually, what are the primary differences that a company should consider when choosing between ExactTarget and Pardot?
Yeah, so and really what it is the way Salesforce has aligned Pardot and ExactTarget. Pardot is aligned for those companies that do B2B business, so business to business, and ExactTarget is aligned for B2C businesses, so business to consumer.
Great, thanks, Linda. The second question is, how much does the Lightning experience cost? The Lightning experience is available to Sales Cloud Service, GE, PE, EE, UE, and PXE licenses at no additional cost. But like we said before, Summa will be happy to help you get that package enabled and get your startup together. We don't suggest that you just turn on the Lightning experience because there are a lot of things to consider. The other questions that we had are, what are the supported browsers for the Lightning experience? It looks like the Lightning experience is supported by Internet Explorer version 11, Apple Safari version 8, and Mac OS. The most recent stable versions of Mozilla, Firefox, and Google Chrome. If you're using Microsoft Internet Explorer version 7 through 10, you're going to be redirected to Salesforce Classic. You can't access Lightning experience in a mobile browser. Instead, we recommend using the Salesforce One app when you're working on a mobile device. And that looks like all the questions that we have right now. So thank you for your time today. We hope you found the sessions informative and you're as excited as we are about the new features and products that was recently announced by Salesforce. If you need more information, you can visit our website. Under Partners in Salesforce.com, you can see on the right-hand side our offerings. That's where you can download the packages that we talked about during the presentation. And you can also get a hold of us to talk to anyone about any other questions that you had. We will be sharing a recorded session of this in the next few days, so please feel free to share it with any of your colleagues and anyone who would be interested. If you have any questions, you can refer to my email address at the bottom of the screen, amanda.o'keefe@summa-tech.com. Thanks for coming.